Hi, everyone. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up Demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome to my Technique Tuesday. How did they do that technique? And this and my sketch challenge happens to be my most favorite ones that I do each and every week. So welcome. I am so happy that you're joining me. Just remember, if you're watching this on replay, it is part of a live, and I will be talking to the different people that do come on when they join me live. And you know what? They may have some questions that you may have as well. Um, I I love this one. This one gives different techniques and everything else. Hello, Barb, Lila, Pam, 8:30 in Nova Scotia. Oh my goodness. And Kay, oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Leona. Now, if I do, oh, and Lorraine, and I'm going to shout out a happy birthday to Lorraine as well. So we're going to make it all a hoop hurrah for Lorraine. In any event, you guys, welcome to Technique Tuesday. This is where I actually will show you different techniques. I might show you ones that you've seen. I might show you ones that you haven't seen before. There might be ones that I've done in classes that I haven't done shown to any other people, that sort of stuff. And that's exactly what today is. Hello, Brenda and and Kathy. Oh my goodness, lots and lots of people here. Brona. I probably have mispronounced that. And Margaret, oh my goodness, from Australia. Well, hello. In any event, and if you're on Facebook and you haven't given StreamYard permission, I'm not sure who you are, but I do say hello to you in any event. And Diane, oh my goodness, lots and lots of people on here. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get right on down to my desktop here. Now, I have shown this particular technique in on my online or in my in-person classes. There's lots of different things that you can do with this technique, and this is the rusty stamping technique, and it's not really stamping, but it is a stamping technique, and we just want to make things look rusty. And of course, with that, let's get trucking along stamp set and punch. This one is perfect for that. So when you can get that, which is back in October, when you can get it again, this will be a technique that you can try. Now, another one, I wish it hadn't retired. It was a milk jug. Mind you, a milk jug is usually galvanized and it doesn't go rusty. But you could do pots. Actually, that earthen texture would work really well with this. You could pretend that you've got a metal pot and make it rusty as well. In any event, we're going to go ahead and use this. Now, I don't have this, my stamp set at this point. One of my team members was put on alert and didn't have the stamp set. So I am just going to show you this part and what I've done with it, but it's the other part that's really, really important here. Hello, Lila. Oh, okay. And Betty. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do this truck and we're going to make it look rusty because this kind of a truck, if you see this kind of a truck and it's the proper color, chances are this style truck, it probably is rusty. So in any event, I want to show you how to do that. And of course, this comes with this fantastic punch, this truck builder punch. But it, like I say, will be available again in October. I was lucky to order some for some of my people for a class. I advertised for it ahead of time. All right, so what you're going to need is you are going to need this Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And by using this paper, what you're going to do is this helps you do some watercoloring with it. So I would take this watercolor paper, yes, and we are going to go ahead and emboss. We're putting water on this. So the other thing that we could do is we could use StazOn ink, or to save your stamp set, you could take your stamp set and you could actually emboss with it and give that kind of a technique. So what I would do is I would take my embossing buddy, and I'll just quickly show you how this is done. I borrowed this from somebody else as well. All right, so all you're going to do is you're just going to take this truck. You know what? I can't even remember where I put that embossing buddy. You should do it on a paper piercing mat because it is photopolymer. We don't want to miss any of those pieces. So I'm just going to go like this, and I'm just going to stamp it. And then I am using, because I want it to show up a certain way, I am using black embossing powder. Now, you can have that choice of whether or not, if you want to use black, you could use gold. White wouldn't work. I just wanted to have something that was going to show the actual, would show the outline of the stamp set. So I'm just going to come in and let's just do this. And like I say, this was part of a class. So we have this just like this, and then I'm going to go in and heat emboss. Now I'm going to give you a couple of hints about this. On watercolor paper, what could happen when you are actually heat setting this is, one, you could overcook it, which is okay. No problem that you can overcook your embossing thing. When you go to heat this up, it goes shiny and then it goes dull afterwards. So just be aware of those particular things that will happen when you're using the 100 paper, the fluid 100 paper. Hello, Felicia and Colleen. How is your weather there? It's really quite good. It got really, really smoky in the last couple of hours. I don't know if there was another fire that came out or if the wind came up. I have no idea. I think on the island, it was quite stormy last night with thunder and rain. So it's not too bad, actually. Hello, Laura. Awesome. So like I say, what you're going to do then is heat set this. And I've already gone ahead and done this. And then I've got a few trucks done here. And then we're just going to, with this particular punch, and just to let you know, with this punch, if you go and you just go and punch it, like I went and I stamped these all on top of one another. If you go and just punch it, what's going to happen is you're going to turn around, and where did I put that punch? I thought I just had it here. I did. All this stuff is going to cut out. So I had to cut this apart, and I had to go in and separate them. And this is not that great as a Post-it note. So I'll come in with a better Post-it note. I'm just going to stick this. And of course, you guys all know this trick, right? So we're just going to come in, and I'm just going to go ahead and punch this out. Now, this is going to take a little bit more wear and tear on the punch and a little bit harder. And that's because it's thicker paper, because it's watercolor paper. So you just have to be aware that it's going to take a little bit more to get punched out. Now, normally you wouldn't use watercolor paper when you're doing this, when you're actually using the punch. However, this technique, you have to use the watercolor paper. So, my goodness. There we go. And then we'll just I'm just going to do a couple of these because I want one. I've got an idea of what I want to do. I don't know exactly, but so watch your fingers when you're punching it. And of course, I have another one here if I muck that up. All right, so we have a couple of those. We'll just go. All right, so on here, it says stamp the image with the Versamark on the fluid 100 paper. And then, of course, what you want to do is you want it to be on fluid 100 paper. You're also going to have your water painters. I didn't put any water in the barrel here. I'm just going to actually use water from here, and I'm just going to pick up the colors off of here. Now, originally I thought, oh, I want to do this in a red, but then I'm going to actually revert and do it with the boho blue on the, didn't look as good with the rusting. All right, so one key thing to do when you're doing this is come in, and you could use it if you have it in the thing there, or you can just take your stamp, get ink on there, and that we can use that ink. And then I'm also going to come in with a couple of other colors. A good color to make something look rusty is copper clay. So let's get some copper clay, and I'll kind of show you how these work. You could use, I think my favorite though is pecan pie, and wild wheat works really good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you, here's pecan pie, and then there is wild wheat. We're just going to put that on the other side. And this makes it really easy so that you don't get the water into your inkwell or into your stamp pad. So all I'm going to do is just pick up some water. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your pen and you're going to get water on here. You want to get, now this has, obviously this has red in it. Now you want to get it fairly wet. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our boho blue. And we're just actually going to just dab the boho blue on here. And what that does is that it's going to, because of that water, it's going to spread the color. And while we're doing this, we're also going to go ahead and get this part. Now my thought process is that I'm going to use the trailer, and we're going to get like a trailer on this, but I think I'll do the whole thing. And I'll just come pick up that boho blue, and we're just going to dab that on there. Now, if we see how it's not that dark, so what I can do is I can come in, whoops, and get paper towel. And I'm just going to take this off of here, and I'm going to dab it some more and get some more boho blue on there. I was expecting people all day today to come pick up their stuff, and of course while I'm recording, they're going to come when I'm recording, so, but that's okay. So let's just get this. Want to get it a little bit darker, we can just get a little bit darker in here. All right. Now what I did was I went and I played with some red, and I can show you the different colors for the rusting. You'll see this in just a sec. But I think my favorite with this is pecan pie. I think it works the best. So I'm just going to come in with some pecan pie. Whoops. Should come in here, and I want to get this part wet. And of course we don't want to get the tires and the wheels done. Just going to come in and get some more. And so simple. Now, my whole thought that I thought would be amazing with this would be a jug. And I looked, like I said, I looked in all of our stamps, and I can't. But see how this just sort of makes it go rusty? Of course, it's usually rusty more at the bottom, right? See how that's, oh, let me bring that up just a little bit closer. Oops, here we go. And see how it's starting to look rusty. So I'm going to actually do this one. And I'm going to bring it up so that you can see how it actually how it really works so easily. So I got that bottom part wet. And see, now all I'm doing is just putting a little bit on here. And that's just making it rusty for us. Pretty cool, right? Oh, Sandra, yes. I know Taquita's barking at somebody that was there, so it wasn't you. That's good. So, like I say, and that just makes it go rusty. So just like that. And then, of course, what we want to do is we kind of want to make this, just let this dry naturally, or you could come in and you could do some dabbing with the paper towel. I find with that particular method of it drying with the paper towel, what happens is it takes some of the color off, and we really want to keep that color on there. I'm going to move this water out of the way. And then we're going to kind of let this dry. So what we can do now is we can sit and we can put our card together. It really does look like rust, doesn't it? So think of it this way. This is the blue, the boho blue. I use this with wild wheat. This is the pecan pie that I used right there. And then this is using copper clay. And you can see how this kind of goes a little bit pink. Now, copper clay works really quite well if it was put on there with the blue and that sort of stuff. And then I went and I also did it with the Poppy Parade. This is the pecan pie. This is the copper clay, and this is the wild wheat. So you can see how they would work as well. So if you want to see how your color is going to work, these were just scrap pieces of that Fluid 100 paper. All right, so we're just going to let that dry. And see, this particular thing will be on my Stampin' with Diane group, and that link to that group is just down below. And this will be going on at 9:05 tomorrow, and then you can download it. It'll also have the sample that I'm going to make and the different product that I used with it. And this is episode number 67. And you'll find it, if you miss it, you'll find it in the files section on in the Stampin' with Diane Stampers group. All right, so I used the boho blue, so I thought to myself, well, why don't I just go ahead and carry forward the color with boho blue? So I've got it cut. This was actually a piece that I already had cut, and it looks like I've got a bit of some marks on it. But this is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and we're just going to go in with our bone folder and get that good and scored. Yeah, sometimes it's good to know what colors are going to work with you. Now, I went and I cut this. This is gray granite, and I cut it 3 3/4 by 5. And then this paper has gray granite stripes on it, or diagonal stripes. And this is actually from the Let's Go Fishing suite. So I thought that would look okay on there. So I'm just going to go and glue that. Oh my goodness. I'll just get this with a paper clip, and hopefully it'll be, actually feels like it's pretty well empty. So let's do that. All right. We'll just put that on there so that we've got a bit of a, hello, Pat and Robina. Do you know what? Wild wheat is not my favorite color, but those ink color dots, amazing. They look like gold embellishments. So it just shows you, but wild wheat looks like gold on like a navy or something like that. So this is just going to go on here. And when I used a deckled rectangle, and I thought I could do this. Let's see, will this fit on there? You know what? I was actually going to make that into a trailer, but I think I'm going to turn around and just leave this like that. And then we can do some other stuff. This is going to go on the inside. So what I kind of thought we could do, I cut these from the Stylish Shapes, and I kind of just wanted a bit of something else on here. So I think I'm just going to cut these off, and we'll just sort of put some banners on here. And those banners will work well as well. So this is just going to go on here. Now, you know what? I'll just put this on the front. Let's see how that looks anyways. I hope it's going to look okay. In my mind, it looks okay. Let's go and put this on there. Now, to me, this could be a masculine card. Well, definitely, it could be a masculine card. Ooh, I didn't put that a little too. I think I just put this up at the top. So then this can go down here. I'm going to push that Very Vanilla up a little bit, bring this down a bit, and then I've got this gray granite. Just a bit of a different look on here, that's all. See, is that high enough? Oh, it's almost too high, too low. Let me do that up a little bit more, and then this one up a bit more as well. There we go. And see that go like that. We can sit and pop this up. Pretty straightforward type card. And I was thinking to myself, I've got a strip that's 3 3/8, and I was looking at different words that you could do. And on this something fancy, I think I could do a happy birthday. So I think I'll just take this and do a happy birthday, and I'm going to do it. Let's see. I don't know if that's straight either. I'm thinking to myself that maybe what I'll do is I'll do it in Misty Moonlight, so it shows up. Pretty boring card, actually. Oh, his truck is already going rusty? Wow. Okay, so we're going to try this about here. Whoops, a little low. There, that's good. And I think what I'll do is I'll just cut that off there, and we'll put this on there. So let's go ahead and put that on the front of this card. I say, almost looks pretty boring. I guess I could have done some embossing on it, like embossing folder. Right, let's put that there. This is going to go here. Let's put some dimensionals on the back. My goodness, where can all my big dimensionals go? Well, we're going to have to use this. Just here. Using the best parts of this. There we go. My goodness, there we go. And we'll put that there. Now, like I say, what I could have done was cut this part off. And I'll show you what you could do is you can take this part here, cut this right here. Just cut this part off. And you know what? I need to color that those wheels. So I'm actually going to use my Pebble Path, and I'm going to use, and yes, I am using a blend on watercolor paper. It's kind of funny, when I was away, my son used all of the alcohol markers on watercolor paper, and I was actually quite amazed at how well it worked. Salt on the road, yes. Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right, so we're just going to put this here. Like I say, I could put the truck, excuse me, here with the trailer behind. Do we want to do that? No, but just showing you that you could do that. So I'm just going to go and put this on here. And this is just going to go up here. This is going to have the happy birthday across here. Let's just cut that off. I'm really kind of winging this. Now it goes here. We could do happy birthday down here. We could do happy birthday over here. Maybe down here might be a good idea. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to put this in the center. Here we go again. I'm tearing my cards apart. So let's just put this here. This is just going to go here. And I'm actually going to pop this up as well. I really wish I had my full size. Ah, we found my full size dimensionals. So, there we go. And actually, we probably could have put a bigger happy birthday on there as well. Let's put that there. I know what I'm going to do anyways. We're just going to put this across here. Maybe it would be better in the gray. Oh, well, I'm just going to put this on. And then, of course, we have to put some embellishments on there, right? I think I talked too much when I was away because my voice is so hoarse. Simply classic, like the truck. Pretty straightforward card, that's for sure. But with this being the technique, it's not really the card that we're really focusing on. It's the technique that we're focusing on. All right, so we have our happy birthday here. And then what we can do is we can turn around and use the in colored dots. And I think I'll use the boho blue ones. These dots are amazing. You can tell I don't have any wild wheat dots because I used them all for gold. And they really did look pretty cool. All right, so I got a bit of a boo-boo up there. One there. And then let's go ahead and just put one right down there. So, pretty simple card. You know, like I say, when I have this surgery, I'm going to see how many of these cards are really crooked. All right. So there we go. That is the rusty stamping technique. So what we've done is we've made this truck look rusty. Just like that. This one's really rusty. This one's not quite so bad, but a little bit rustier, you know, by the door jambs and up by the wheel wells. So anyways, yeah, that's a good card. It'd be a good card for a young teenager. It could be a good card for a senior, that sort of stuff. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you like that, give me the thumbs up. Make sure that you share my video. I really do appreciate that when you do that. That's one of the biggest compliments that you can give. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put anything on the inside. All right, so let's just go ahead. And, you know, I've got this part here. Why don't I just stick this part right in here? It's like the truck's off of there. So we're just going to go ahead and just put that truck right there. And I'm going to color that wheel. should try stamping and just doing a die with that. I mean, using the Stampin' Blends with that. All right. So that's kind of decorated our inside. The other thing I could have done was I could have taken some of this designer series paper and decorated it as well. But that's what we're going to do. Oh, Renee. Oh my goodness. All the East Coast is getting all that rain. My goodness. We sure could use some. My poor Lana's dying. All right. So there's the inside of the card. All right. So like I say, there you go. With it. This will be showing at 9:05 tomorrow morning on my Stampin' with Diane Stampers group. Don't forget tomorrow to drop by 3 o'clock. I do my mystery stamping. That's where I'll pick something from around from your studio, and you'll be able to create a card with 3 clues that I'll give you at noon tomorrow. Yeah. In any event, you guys have a great day. Remember, if you do live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to work with you. Yeah, in any event, you guys remember to create because it's great for the soul. Bye for now.